Hello everyone, welcome back to Prashita Fun School. So this is again the second part of the same module that we were discussing in our previous video, and whatever we learned in our first part is exactly what we will be looking after, what it looked like on day one of your actual job. Imagine this is you who have just got who have just got a job into Zerodha's operation team, or you have just joined Zerodha's operation team as a trade settlement officer, and it is your first week, and on a Monday morning you are sitting across your manager, and let's call him Vikram, right? So Bikram comes to you and says you that your job is simple in concept but very critical in execution. Every time a client buys or sell a share or on NSE, your job is to make sure that the trade settles correctly. I hope you understand what is your job here. But the right share to go to the right demat account is exactly what job is over here. But it does not ends over here. You also have to check the right money goes to the right bank account on time and every time without any expectations over here. So you nod, but you felt like, okay, it is manageable, that is not a tough job. Then you ask one thing: what if a trade doesn't settle on time? Bikram looks at you directly and said to you, the client will call screaming on you, and SEBI will get a complaint, and the firm will get penalized, and most importantly, your firm's reputation will take a hit, and nobody on this team sleeps well that night because you just skipped a settlement on time. So make sure that you will not be making it happen anytime. Your job here is to do the right time again and again. Whenever you get a chance to settle a particular trade, even one mistake in your job makes the entire system collapse over here. So you walk back to your desk and you sit there thinking, this job is just not on paper, right? This is not a paperwork job. This job is what keeps millions of investors, people like Priya, people like Rahul, which we have already discussed in our first part, trusting the financial system. And suddenly everything you learned in the part 1 start making sense for you, because your job exists here because of liquidity provision is a core function of financial market, that you have to make the trade settle in T plus 1 day only every time, and there is no exception to this. People need to convert their cash to share and share to cash, and you have to make that possible every time. Your job exists because capital allocation happens, and someone has to process every allotment, every share credit, every settlement that flows from it. So I hope you are getting you are able to connect whatever you have read in the first part of the same module. And finally, your job exists because financial market are organized, and organized means someone is doing the work to keep them the way every day, every trade, without making any mistake at any single point of time, right? So this is exactly what you will be learning, and let's understand again in deeply that why your job exists and connecting the dots that you have learned in your part 1. So your role here, let me say this very directly, right? A lot of research think operation is a backup plan, or maybe something you do when you could not get a better job like equity analyst or maybe as a finance analyst. But that thinking is completely wrong. Operation is the backbone of entire financial system, because without settlement operation, T plus 1 fails. Without KYC operations, new investors can't enter the market. Without clearing operations, trade does not get processed, and without depository operations, sales does not reach to demat account. So the front office get the glory, but the back operations or the back end team operation team keeps the light on. This is exactly how important your role is, and when you walk into your next interview, carry the understanding, know that you are not applying for a junior role that anyone can do. You are applying to be part of the team that makes financial market function every time, right? That confidence, that clarity about why your role matter is what interviews will get you selected for. All right, let's pause the video right now and get your notebook and pen ready. Here is your thinking question for today, and every day we have any season, you will be having one quick thinking question that you have to solve of your own. Let's say a new company want to raise 500 crores rupees from the public to expand their business, and there is no financial market, no NSE, no BSE, no SEBI, nothing exists. So how do they do it? And what are the three specific problems they would face? Don't look at your notes, don't Google, don't use AI. Sit with you for 5 minutes and write what comes to your mind. This exercise is training your brain to think like a finance professional who does not just memorize the answer but understand how financial market works, and if financial market do not exist, what will be the problem that we as an individual investors, or many people as institutional investors, and the entire economy suffers. So you have to pause this right now. You have to just understand what will happen if there is no financial market, and you have to write it down with three problem statements as well, right? Then let's understand one more question over here, that is a WhatsApp group discussion question. And here is the question for the WhatsApp group. So what you have to do this is post this question today, read what batchmates write, discuss it over here. So the question is, if T+1 settlement failed today for all trades on NSE, what do you think? What happens? Who would be affected the first? Think about it like a domino effect. Maybe Rahul bought TCS shares today and is expecting them tomorrow. What happen if they don't arrive? Let's say in case of Rahul, you got TCS share today and you are someone who is a first time investor, and you were expecting that, okay, I trust on SEBI, I trust on the financial market of India, and you expected that you will get those TCS shares on your Demat account tomorrow. But what happened? You don't get those shares arrived in your Demat account. What does he calls? What does you as an individual will call? What does Zerodha will do? What does SEBI will do? And what happens to the banks involved in this transaction? This kind of systems thinking will understanding how one failure creates a chain reaction, and is exactly what makes you stand in a group discussion or maybe in an interview. So what you have to do over here is to write down this question in your WhatsApp group, but before that, write down this question in your notes. Also think of the answer as you did the same for the previous question as well. After you get a perfect answer for this, I will not say perfect answer, after you get whatever you feel is the right answer to this, put the question, put the answer into the WhatsApp group, and let's discuss with other of your batchmates in the WhatsApp group. This is exactly what you have to do over here, right? Then we will be moving ahead with the part 3, where we will be helping you understand whatever you are learning, how to put it in your profile. This is where most people drop off. What they do, they watch the videos, they feel good, and they skip the project. Don't be that person, because the certifications will not getting you the job, but the project is the whole point. The project is what builds your profile. The project is what gives you something real to talk about in an interview, right? So what is the project for today? Today you are starting for something that is going to follow you through the next 14 days of this program. It is called your financial market knowledge document. Think of it like a journal. Expect instead of your feelings, you are documenting your understanding about financial market section by section, whatever we are learning here in this particular program day by day. Maybe by day 17, this document will have 14 sections, each section in one day's learning, written in your own words, with your own examples, and from your perspective and from your understanding. And why this matter? Because when an interviewer asks you after you complete this program, when you sit in an interview, when an interviewer asks you, what do you know about financial markets? Most candidates talk, but you pull out a document, you say, I spent around 14 days building this from very scratch. Every concept, every example, every operation job that connects with financial market, I have wrote it with myself. This is a different conversation entirely. See, you are not just answering about what is financial market, but you are letting the interviewer know that you have given entire 15 days of your time to prepare a journal only on financial market and what are the role involved in financial market to make the to have the existence of financial market in this country. And this completely changed the interview perspective upon you, that you are not someone who is only interested for interview, but you are someone who understand how business happens in financial market, right? So what you have to do today, you have to do this. Section 1, write your own definition of a financial market. 3 sentence, no notes, but only from your own words, your own understanding. Section 2, draw the investor market issuer diagram. Priya on the left, NSE in the middle, Zomato on the right. Add your own Indian examples to it. Right? I'm just giving you an example of what you are being expected from this particular thing. If you are not able to understand from this particular slide, upload it in ChatGPT, Claude, or any AI tool that you use, only for reference to understand what answer is being expected to you from this particular section. Once you understand the expectance of this particular answer, build your own examples, think of your own. Then comes the section 3, the 5 purpose table. We have already learned the 5 purposes of financial market. Purpose, so what you have to do over here, 5 purposes, you have to create 5 rows and 5 columns over here. First, you have to write purpose. Second, what it means. One real Indian example and operation job that connects to it. We have already read the same thing in the first part of this particular module. You just have to write it of your own. That's it. Then section 4, your reflection before today. What you have to write, what did you think a financial market was, and what changed today, and what surprised you today in this particular season, is exactly what you have to write. This is a work that will not take more than an hour of your time in today's date, but it will pay off for months. Whenever you attend an interview, you will start seeing the magic that how this particular preparation that you are doing today is helping you to answer in your interviews, right? So I hope you understand what is being expected in this particular project from you. Then submit your document via Google form. We will be adding the submission links in each and every day of your Google Sheet or the program LMS. So you will be able to submit your documents on the Google form. And the moment you submit, add this line to your CV under self-learning or project. Built a self-documented financial market reference guide covering market structure, economic purposes, and key participant regulatory framework and end-to-end transaction flow as part of a structured 30 days career preparation program. But you might be thinking, when did you learn all this? When did you learn all this? You might be thinking now. But this is not something that you have learned today, but this particular sentence is covering the entire 14 days that we will be giving toward learning the financial market foundation, right? But you can add it today, but you will be consuming it maybe in next 14 days, right? I hope you understand. Then comes the interview preparation. So why this is important? This is very, very important for you to be prepared for interview, because till now whatever we have did, we have never prepared for jobs. We have just prepared to get good marks in our academics, but this particular program we are helping you to prepare for interview, right? So what you have to do here, you will be having 4 questions, full answers, and power phrases that will help you to answer an interview, not like a student, but like an individual, but like a professional who understand the financial market, who understand business and finance, right? So what you have to do, study this, then record yourself answering the practice questions and submit it. No shortcuts. Do not think that I will not be recording myself answering these questions now because I know what is this. But trust me on this, guys. If you are not recording yourself, if you are not following the guidelines that we are asking you to do, even if you know the answers, you will not be able to answer it perfectly in an interview because you do not have practice to answer these questions before, right? So let's get started with this. Let's go through the 4 interview questions for today. Question 1, what is financial market in simple terms? So this is the first question in almost every finance operation interview, and it sounds very simple, and most of people, they think, okay, I can easily answer it, but while answer, you fumble it because you have not prepared for it, and you do not have framed a sentence how to answer what is a financial market. So your answer should be very structured, and it should sound like a financial market is an organized system where buyers and sellers trade financial instruments. It connect people with surplus money to business that need money efficiently and at a very large scale. So this is very short, very clear, and makes you feel confident. Then stop talking, don't ramble it further, or don't try to add more sentence to it. Just this much will help you, to to make a better impression in front of the interviewer whenever you're answering like this. So what is your power phrase over here? Your power phrase over here is: a financial market is the infrastructure that connects money to opportunity at a very large scale of an entire economy. Right? I think we are done with this particular question now. Go ahead to the second question. So why do financial market exist? This is where you go from just a average applicant to an impressive applicant. So don't just give one liner answer over here. Tell them about all the 5 purposes that we have already learned in the first part of this particular module. Name them, give one real Indian example for at least 2 that you have just learned. That shows you actually understand the market, but and also makes you feel confident while answering it. So here your power phrase would be: financial market exists to move money from where it is sitting idle to where it can create value for value. This is exactly what you have to answer when you have been asked why do financial market exist. Then the question 3 here can be: what is T+1 settlement? And trust me on this, guys, this is one of the very important question that is being asked in the financial market interviews. So don't tell directly what is this, tell the story to them. Tell them that if Rahul buys a TCS shares, T is the trade day, T+1 is the settlement day, share in demat account, money and shares get into the demat account, and money is debited from the bank account. India moved from T+1 in January 2023, and the settlement team makes it happen every single day. And this is how you should answer when you have been asked what is T+1 settlement, so you feel like you know what is it exactly. And your power phrase here would be: T+1 is India's commitment to faster financial markets, and settlement operation team executes the commitment every single day. So this is exactly what you have to do. So we are done with question 1, question 2 and question 3 now. Now the fourth question here is: what is the difference between an investor and an issuer? So you can tell it like: investor means Priya, let's say Priya deploying 50,000 rupees to grow it. SBI mutual fund is deploying 10,000 rupees crores over here. So the issuer over here is Zomato raising money through IPO and Government of India issuing government securities to fund highways. The market connects the both. So you have explained this with giving an just a very basic example. You just said investor is someone who is deploying money to grow, and issuer is someone who is raising money to fund the growth. Financial market connects both. Example: SEBI mutual fund are the investors, Priya who is a retail investor, and Zomato who have their shares in the market is the issuer on NSE. This is exactly how you should answer in an interview when it is being asked to you. And your power phrase here is: every transaction in a financial market has 2 sides, someone deploying capital and someone is raising it. Someone who is deploying capital is the investor, and someone who is raising it is the issuer in the market. Right? I hope this I made it very clear with all the 4 type of questions that you can expect in a financial operation interview. Then section B is your practice question. So what you have to do, 4 practice questions now. So what you have to do is record yourself with 60 to 90 seconds each. Submit all the 4 answers in the submission Google form. So the first question here is: explain financial market to your younger cousin who have never invested. Use the vegetable market analogy, no jargon, make it feel very real. Now you are the one who will be explaining what is financial market by using vegetable market as the analogy to it. Question 2: you are interviewing for a trade settlement officer role. The interviewer asks you, why is settlement operations important? So don't just describe what the role does, tell them why it matters and connect it to the liquidity and capital allocation purpose of financial market, as we have already discussed in this particular module. Now the question 3 is: name all 5 purposes of financial market with one real Indian example each. Say them in order, confidently and without stopping. Then question 4 is: what is the difference between an investor and an issuer? Give one real Indian example for each of the following. What you have to do is just record your answer and submit it. Your interview confidence does not come from watching this particular videos, but it comes only if you are doing something while watching this. So Your role is to do whatever project we are mentioning in this particular session, or maybe in any future sessions, is to complete it before starting the next session. Let's say we have committed our 30 days into this, and you are an individual, you have never focused. I am just taking example, like if you are an individual who have never taken your academics seriously, who have never gained any skills during your academy, your graduation, your post graduation, or maybe in your intermediate. But if you are someone who is genuinely interested in getting a financial market job, trust me guys, you just have to follow this 30 days program without cheating yourself, as it is how we are guiding you over here. If you are following this, you will be very easily getting a financial market job, because an interviewer will not be checking what you have done in your academics, but he will be checking how good you are in understanding the financial market. And that is exactly what we are trying to deliver in this particular program, to help you understand how business operates in financial market. And if you understand this, do the projects, practice for how to answer an interview, speak to yourself, improve your communication, definitely you would be the one would be on the other side and doing a job in financial market. So please treat this 30 days as one of the very important time period of your job preparation journey, and this will help you to uh, land into the financial market jobs, right? So let's close this. And as you all know, this is the day 4. Now remember Arjun, the guy I told you about at the beginning, the one who froze when the interviewer asked about in financial market, right? So once you do each and everything that we have guided in this particular module, you are not Arjun anymore. Today you learned what our financial market is, and not just the definition, but you understand why it exists, how it connects to your job, and what T plus 1 actually means at a ground level. And that knowledge, that clarity is what walks into interview room with you and help you get selected in the interviews. So as I already mentioned, do your projects today, post it in the WhatsApp group, communicate with other like-minded people who are in that particular group, develop your connection, because no one knows, right? They might get into a company today, and if you have developed good connection with them, they can even refer you over there. So they are the people who are looking for jobs like you in financial market today, but maybe after a month, after 2 months, they can be the one who can refer you into a company. So always be active in the WhatsApp group, and I will see you on day 5 again, where we will go into the 4 types of financial markets: equity, debt market, derivative market, money market, and we will figure out exactly which one you are going to build your career in. This is where we are completing our day 4 of the financial market journey. Thank you guys.